Hey Stonehill groups, we are praying for some big things as we journey together through For the Valley. My hope in my heart is that God would wreck our hearts as we journey through this together. You see, we're supposed to be a church not just in the valley, but a church for the valley. I'm going to encourage you to be as faithful as you can to your community group for the rest of this semester. Also, as your leader facilitates your group discussion, be involved and engage with the conversation. And then really begin to allow your heart to open up to whatever God would have for you as you process what it means to put God first in all things, which also includes our generosity. Now check out how God moved in the hearts of the Gregory family.
Hi, I'm Luke Gregory, and this is my wife, Bobby.
We have two kids. Elizabeth is a sophomore at Mountain View, and Kyle is an 8th grader at Victory. And we came to Stonehill about 2.5 years ago to get our kids more involved in youth ministry, and they went the first time, said they loved it, and we've been going to Stonehill ever since.
I served with the 4th and 5th graders on the second service on Sunday morning, and I got involved there really through our small group. They had brought up the need for male leaders in the younger age groups, and so I just felt God putting it on my heart to step up and answer that call, and I've been serving there ever since.
And I serve on the media team, so I'm behind the scenes, which I enjoy. So for us, our small group is really important to us. It's really what brought us together with other people in the neighborhood. Our small group is all people who live in our subdivision, and we just had instant connections, and it was crazy that we've only been together for about 1.5 years. Just having that connection outside of church on Sundays is super important.
Giving for me has always been important. I was fortunate enough to see my folks give growing up in church, and knew that it was an important act of service, act of worship, understanding that we are called to give financially, physically, spiritually back to the church, whether that's financially, physically, through service. We're doing that to strengthen the body so that when the body leaves the church building, we are in a position to be able to serve our community. Being generous, I think, as humans in our sinful nature, it can be hard to be generous, right? And the Lord has provided or blessed health or well-being or finances to us all in different ways, and so we always ask, well, how much of that should I give back? And if we have to understand that God has given it all to us, and that we are really keeping it and being a steward of it for Him, and if you look at it that way, it's easier to be faithful in any act of service.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to different parts of our lives where there's been times where we haven't had hardly any money to our name, and we still are faithful in giving back to God. And then there are times when we are pulled in so many directions that we don't feel like we have enough time to give. So I think looking back at those times and realizing, yeah, even though I didn't have a lot, I still was blessed, and now I have more, and so why am I not doing more?
To walk alongside of a church that is energetic, that's honest, and just says, hey, it's a place to come and not be okay, but we want to move out of that place, right? And not stay in that place of being not okay. We enjoy giving back of our time and our resources there because we have a very similar mindset really in how we operate. Like, we all mess up, we're all sinners, but we still should be working to move out of that. Yeah, the vision for the Valley is a great vision. It's going to challenge all of us a lot. For us right now financially, we're going through some changes, but we've always kept our giving as part of our marriage and part of our family, and so that will continue, and it's something that we just have to really look at and find out what fits. You're not often part of something that begins at the ground level, right? So we as a church are taking off with this For the Valley initiative, and so we all have an opportunity to jump in at the ground level. Having this challenge in front of us, like if anybody is just on that fence, consider the long-term impact that we're going to have in the Valley, that as an individual, you'll be able to look back on and say, I was part of that. You know, I was physically or financially part of that, or both. I'm just always in awe of what God can do with our resources, physically, financially, spiritually, and what He can do with the resources of other people. Come to the table with what God has laid on your heart, and He's going to make sure that day to day you're taken care of.